guys, it's Devin with Real McCoy Moto out here with the GPX Moto 250S, which is the smaller version of the FSE 250R or E, whichever model you choose. This, however, is the 250E engine, which is the air-cooled engine, in an 85cc chassis frame. So it's a little bit different bike. People are asking about what the bike is like, how it handles. I'm going to ride out here in this terrain just out behind my house a ways and show you what it does.
All right, so I'm on my way back. Been out riding the 250S. So here's a couple of things that I wanted to say about it. First of all, really fun bike. I normally ride a 2019 GPX Moto FSE 250R, and it's incredibly nimble, full-size, two-stroke dirt bike, and it's a ton of fun. So going from that to this little four-stroke was a little bit different. I was going to talk about a couple of things that I liked and a couple of things that I don't like. First of all, things that I did like. It was low to the ground. I felt like, obviously it was a smaller bike. It's on an 85 chassis, so I feel like I could throw it around a lot more, and I could spin the back end around. It felt quite nimble. It was surprising. The tires actually rolled up over objects and ledges much easier than I expected. I was in my head thinking that maybe the tires would get stopped up against larger rock ledges, but for the most part, everything just rolled right up. It was different finding my throttle range, because in the TSE I can just bog it down into the basement and it'll pull right out of it. With the four-stroke, with the FSE 250S, I had to be a little bit more careful, do a little bit more clutch work, and that's fine. That's great. Let's see. I love the sound. 250S sounds amazing. That just throaty four-stroke sound is great. The brakes are really good. The back end is super responsive, locks up the tire really easily. And the front end, I feel like I could just squeeze it as hard as I wanted and it wouldn't lock up and wash out from underneath me. So I felt like I had a lot of good control on the front brake. The suspension is soft. It comes from the factory really soft. One thing to be aware of, with the Fast Ace on the 250S, only one fork is fully adjustable. The other one just kind of flows with whatever the right or the left side is adjusted to. So your compression and your rebound are only on one fork. So it's kind of a drawback, not necessarily a deal breaker. It's a great trail bike. It's not really an enduro bike, in my opinion. And the rear suspension is also, the rear shock is adjustable. I noticed a couple of things that maybe I don't like. The tires from the factory are not very good. They don't hook up. I really wanted to change those out right away. I felt like the front end was okay, but the back end was all over the place. It was pretty squirrely. One thing I do notice is a lot of vibration. As soon as my RPMs climb up above mid-range, it starts to vibrate a bit. The whole bike vibrates a bit into the handlebars. The LED readout is vibrating so much I can't read it. So anyway, there's a bit of vibration. I imagine some rubber mounts in between the frame and the motor, and some rubber bushings on the handlebars. There's probably ways to mitigate a lot of that. The suspension is a little bit lower. I noticed that. I ground up my pegs a couple of times. Not a big deal. The brake tip's pretty big. It's pretty much a landing platform, so I would probably shave that down a bit, or just get a smaller one. I kept stepping on it, kind of kill the bike every now and then, or lock up the back end when I wasn't ready for it. So there were a few things, a few quirks. Overall, really fun bike. It's my wife's bike, so it's not one I'll be riding all the time. But if it is a beginner bike, if it's just used for trail riding, goofing around, having fun, it's great. It's fantastic. You can tweak it and you know, ride it to its limit, and it's probably got more capability than most riders do. But anybody that's an experienced rider is probably going to outpace that bike pretty fast. It is slow. It's a 5-speed, and the gears are short. So you may change out some sprockets, get a little bit more length and top speed out of the bike. I think think I clocked my top speed, if the speedometer is correct, at 46 miles per hour. So not a screamer for a 250 with a 5-speed. So there's a little give and take there, but overall, super fun bike. Glad I bought it, and yeah, that's my opinion. Thanks for watching, guys.